I like the fact that you went live after that.
We're live.
Fucking hell.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, the sun's never even seen me with my shirt off.
Oh, speaking of suns, this is a weird jump to make. Hey Nobs, we watched It Comes at Night.
Oh, I have that.
Yes, have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, I was hoping to discuss it with you, but as if you haven't seen it, I won't say a word.
What else did I buy recently? I can't remember.
There was like 4 or 5 new additions to the collection. It was It Comes at Night, Baby Driver, which we are going to watch real soon.
I want to see that so badly.
So good.
I just watched Hot Fuzz again. I was like, fuck, that movie's good. Damn it.
Hot Fuzz is probably my favorite one of his movies.
I still haven't seen that World's End.
Oh, World's End's fantastic.
Yeah,
I was going
I
to say
haven't
that's my
seen
favorite one. It's just because it's so great.
Yeah.
The music in that fucking movie is amazing.
I love that World's End. I think Hot Fuzz is probably still my favorite. Also, love the fact that they got weird. My mind is just doing fucking cartwheels today, but I love the fact that they got Bill Nye to come back to do the fucking speaker in Destiny 2.
I was really surprised. I thought that Bill Nye didn't show up after Vanilla Destiny, and I was just like, well, you can't get that dude back. Like, you paid for that guy once, and Bill Nye is like, you put me in a fucking video game? Like, what do you fucking do? I'm Bill Nye, dude.
Yep.
And then, shockingly, he was... Because the first cutscene with the speaker, he's silent. And I was like, this
yeah,
is gonna be it. He's
I
not
thought
back.
the exact same thing. The speaker is not going to speak. Also, fucking Idris Elba's back.
Wait, who's Idris Elba?
I believe he is the Guardian, the keeper of the Crucible.
Shax?
I think he is Idris
No,
Elba.
he's not Shax. Let's look it up. I don't think Idris Elba is in there, if I don't remember. Lenny James is Lord Shax.
They've got somebody who has got the exact same voice as fucking Idris Elba then.
Yeah, but they got Lance Reddick back. And he gets to say, indeed.
Indeed.
He's so good in that. He just chews that fucking game apart. Indeed,
Who is he?
Guardian. He's Zavala.
Oh, okay, Broyles.
The guy from
Fringe.
Moon.
Broyles.
Fringe, yeah.
You missed some shenanigans over the last week. Just saying.
I know, I'm fucking exhausted, dude. Like, I'm just so tired all the time.
We're all tired all the time, dude, but here's the thing.
That's why it gets saucy.
We need to get Donnie back on this train, and that means people got to show up when he's there.
When he sends me a text message at 10 o'clock at night and I'm about 30 minutes away from going to bed, and then he says, what's my status? I told him, I'm very tired, I'm going to bed. And he spams me with 15 messages, a banana, then a whale.
Did you get a whale too?
Yes. I also got 3 turtles.
I did get a turtle. I got a turtle and a whale. And I'm like, where the fuck did he find this shit on Xbox Messenger?
God damn
Like,
it, Donnie.
He just sends me like 6 messages, one after the other. And when I'm in the middle of playing a game, it's very distracting to just see plunk, 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 plunk.
It totally doesn't cover an important part of the screen either.
Just totally wake your ass up.
Oh, man.
I'm serious, man. Like, it's been a hard go to even get him to sign on.
Oh, I know.
Has he just been busy lately?
Well, that a little bit, and he felt like it was taking up a little too much time.
Oh, sure.
Well, it was. He was staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning every night playing Gears of War 4.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe do that in moderation.
But here's the thing. It was always his fucking idea.
Yes, 100%.
You can't say, like, everyone, let's
wanted
go
to get out.
paragliding, and then say, like, hey, let's not do that again. That was scary.
No, it was every night we were up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We would finish around a horde. It'd be right about 11:30, and he's like, hey, let's go another one. And then literally we'd be zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Donnie.
Every time, without fail. My favorite one was then the next day he'd be online and be like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm in the mood for it. I'm super tired. Let's play."
6 hours later. Oh, it's 4 o'clock already?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Meanwhile, the sun's arising.
Meanwhile, at the book depository.
Oh my god, man! Some of these rounds of Left 4 Dead have just been. Boston, have you ever been the lead and rage quitted?
I do not know when that happened.
That happened to us. They were beating us so bad we weren't worth their fucking time.
Wow. That's a...
I
don't even know what to say to that.
I've never been gamed that bad.
And then just have them peace where it's like, nah, man, we're good. We know we got this.
Two rounds. We did 2 rounds.
Wow.
It walked all over us.
No, I had that happen at Destiny PvP this weekend. I was so tired the other night. I was like, you know what? I'll play a little bit of PvP. And we got into... Of course, the mode that came up is Survival, which is just ticket-based respawns. And...
I fucking hate that mode.
It's not bad, but the people that were on my team, myself included, were not good. And the random people that we were fighting against were very good. And it wasn't
on the Xbox, were you?
No, it wasn't like 4 people in a clan like it usually is, but it's just they were stomping us, and we lost all of our tickets, and we got wiped out really, really quickly, like under 3 minutes. It was just, we got worked, and of course we come back for round 2, and someone bounces from our team, so now it's 4-3.
So now you're fucked.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do my best. I'm not really awake right now. I'm not playing at my best, but I'm not just gonna quit. I'm gonna give it my all. So these 2 other dudes that are on my team are in a clan together, and they keep doing that thing that I love that people do in Destiny, where they hop in and out of voice chat to be like, hey, we need to talk to you. And it's like, no, bro, I don't know you. We're not talking. So if
I wanted to talk, I would have my headset on and be in the fucking speak channel.
Yeah, like I would automatically join that. So they start acting as like it's a fucking MLG Pro tournament, the finals, and they're starting to get angry that I'm not performing, and they start doing that thing where like you respawn and they start shooting and punching you. It's like, dude, you want to keep doing this? I'm going to start jumping off the fucking cliff and start wasting our tickets. Like, I don't care. We're going to lose. I don't... Apparently you haven't been here this whole time where this other team is stomping us into the ground. We don't have a chance. It was like 4-0 total, and they just needed 2 more points. It's like, guys, we're not going to come back from a 4-0 deficit.
Yeah.
Settle the hell down.
No, it happened, like, I think it was me, Duff, Heiko, and Jess were playing together, and we got fucked over in one of the rounds, but, you know, you fucking go, you do your job, you lose. Yeah. So what? Who gives a shit?
You'll win the next one. Like, that's the sort of attitude I don't understand, where it's like, look, $1 million isn't on the line. This other team is just fucking bending you over and working you, and that happens. And then next round, you're probably going to do that to a bunch of other people. Yep, that's exactly what happened with us. We got fucked over 1 round, and then like 6 rounds in a row, we did the exact same thing to other people. Yeah, I never understand why. And we were in the casual playlist too. Like, I wasn't even in the competitive playlist. I don't understand. Fucking people. I hate people.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we were playing Death Toll, and the tank spawned as soon as you got like into the tunnel. Oh boy! And like right before you, so like, all right, it's a good place to catch a tank to brick a team. Yeah. So the tank spawns, and they literally go all the way back to the starting point where the cop car is. Really? And it timed out the tank. Oh, God. That's kind of a D move. Oh, it's an unbelievable D move. But the fact that they were doing that and we couldn't slow them down at all.
They were just like SEAL Team 6, like pushing women and children down.
Oh, it was unreal.
How long is that timer on the tank? Isn't it like 2 or 3 minutes?
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's rough.
It was unbelievable, because even all they had to do was get to the point where the cars, and someone would have wasted a minute trying to get over that pile of cars with the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that round, they went the whole way. We thought we had them stuffed on the whatchamacallit, like where the bridge lowers in there, but they spread themselves out, had every corner fucking covered. Man. You couldn't spawn. You couldn't. If the only place you could spawn, they had you lined up as soon as you turned the corner.
You're like 3 people had you on lock. That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
That's like my question for that is like, I understand why people play, you know, something like League of Legends, or you're gonna play Titanfall 2 for a number of years. Like, I kind of understand that mostly because of the variants, but at that point, like, is Left 4 Dead still fun for you? Just because you're just going through and you are stomping that game. It has to be every match they win decisively.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they literally played 2 rounds. They were up 1,100 points.
Jeez.
Like, at what point do you hang up the mantle and be like, you know what, we have beaten this game?
We have literally taken this towel, wringed all of the water out of it, and then now it's crumbling to bits in our hands because it's so fucking dry.
Yeah.
I thought we wrung that towel pretty dry, but for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we did. That's the fucking point.
You've seen the mountaintop now.
we got blood from the fucking stone. They turned the stone into a fucking diamond.
Yeah.
It was just as...
That's crazy.
Because it was Donnie, Bolgurk, Jetmech, and myself, and we just got fucking stomped. And then the next game, we got another group of people and got fucking stomped.
Jeez. We
played again with Bolgurk, Donnie, and myself on Friday night. Got fucking stomped. This one was unbelievable. So we get the tank. We're playing the Parish with the bridge run. So for some reason, these guys were spawning really fucking quick. So we get to the point where I get the tank as you're coming out the alley, as you jump off that ledge, where it's a big long alley, and the tank spawned in the pool hall. I hopped down the pool hall, and I'm playing goalie, like I'm just like batting them away for the door. And then they started retreating again. I was like, no, this shit ain't fucking happening. There are cars up here. So I see one person running into this room off to the side. I bat a car and block them in there. So they are sealed off. That person's fucked. So at that point, we have 3 special infected. The tank's in good standing. We're running around. I get 2 more down with that. They put the tank down. I was like, all right, guys, clean up this guy. Next thing you know, they're all back up.
Oh.
I'm like, and at that point, like, I am fucking spitting pennies. I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
Because, like, so they picked that dude up. Like, all they had to do was finish this one guy off.
Man.
You had one job. I did my part. Oh, and all 4 of them finished on the bridge too, which was even more embarrassing.
Hey Moon, can you give me a mic check?
Mic check.
Okay. Your mic sounds a little weird, but I think it's a bandwidth issue. I'm gonna give it a minute here.
My bandwidth?
Probably mine.
Seems to be back now. Yeah, went a little bit networky issue there. Like, nope. Call it, turn on your radio before you guys make that joke.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Call or turn on your radio.
I couldn't get YouTube to work on my other phone. Because I needed to uninstall it. Speaking of things I need to buy, a new phone.
Knobs, can you give me a mic check?
Yo.
That's better.
Sounds good.
Where's my TVGP tweet? Boston.
Huh?
I'm gonna tweet about this.
Follow us at TVGP on Twitter. We've got a winner.
There we go. Retweet.
We've got a winner.
Did you guys read any of those comments that followed after, or the link you retweeted, Moon? Where that dude said, "This game is life. I lost an ex-fiance to Ace Combat 6."
I didn't see any of the fucking comments on it. What the fuck?
That's pretty good.
That was outstanding.
Tales of woe.
I know the Roz Grease can grab you.
Oh, dude. As soon as I saw that on my feed, I was like, I know 2 people who need to know of this immediately.
I still remember when I was playing. Was I dogfighting you or Rodney when I pulled when I was going through the buildings, and I just kind of he shot 2 missiles at me, and I literally turned my plane sideways.
I think that was Rodney.
Went right through the 2 buildings, and the missiles hit it like a fucking movie. And I got so excited, I didn't right myself the right way. I just went boom, boom, right back into the wall.
Alright, you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yes, I am.
Are we recording?
Yes. We're also live.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. It's the 3rd-ish Saturday of the month, so it's time to talk Game Club. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me, as always, in the Game Club crew is Knobs.
What's up?
And Moonpear.
Bonjour.
Alright, we're going to talk about Shadow Warrior 2013. Let's break it down, get all the business stuff out of the way. Released September 23rd, 2014 on consoles. Published by Devolver Digital, developed by Flying Wild Hog, which is a really great studio name.
And a great logo.
Yes. Came out on PC, PS4, Xbox One, OS X, and Linux. Developed on the Flying Wild engine, created specifically by the studio, which I was surprised about. That engine puts out some hard work. That is a smooth game.
Yep.
1080p 60. I like seeing it.
Yeah.
Time travel. Metacritic 73, OpenCritic 76. A little bit lower than I was expecting. I thought it'd be in the 80s.
Oh, that's one of these games critics love to hate, though.
Yeah. Peers for release date. We have Shin Megami Tensei 4, Rise of the Triad. So 2 classic games coming back.
Yeah.
Dragon's Crown, DuckTales Remastered. Disney Infinity, that
Wait.
All right.
Dragon's Crown, as in the game that got a lot of flack for its art, shall we say?
Yes, that game.
Okay, that game.
The Bureau XCOM Declassified, which was a game I totally forgot about.
Yeah.
The console release of Diablo 3, and the game that overshadowed all of them, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, yeah.
There it is. That explains the 76.
Yeah, Diablo 3 on consoles and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Top of the pile or overlooked?
Top of the pile. For me. I played it right when it came out.
Yeah, you did. I don't think it was overlooked. We need like a middle thing for got its just desserts, because in that kind of year, it did okay.
It sold fine. It reviewed fine.
It's old enough to make a 2.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into the game itself. What we liked, what we didn't like. I have a feeling that I'm going to be the dissenting opinion this episode, so I'll let you guys go first.
What? Did you finish it?
Yeah, I did.
Really? And you didn't like it?
No, I liked very little of it.
Oh my god, that's amazing to me.
I know this is like this shocking top 10 anime betrayals of this show. Like I did not expect to really not click with this game. So, fair warning for everyone that's listening. I've been sick for like 2.5 straight weeks for one reason or another. So, Shadow Warrior was maybe not the thing that was really in my wheelhouse at the moment. But I don't know. Let's start off with, I guess, what we liked. What do you guys?
No. Start with the poo-poos.
Yeah,
always start negative and then end on the positive.
This is where we got to go now, because I'm dying to figure out why.
I think I have a couple of problems with the game.
I have a few too.
I think it was overly long.
Yes,
I
100%.
think a lot of the levels were a little bit too long for their own good. Not always in a bad way, just sometimes where it's like, yeah, you could have, one level was 40 minutes and the next one was 30, like we could balance these out a little bit better. By the halfway point of that game, I got super sick of unsealing the red, blue, and green seals to unseal the door.
I got sick of trying to find them.
I didn't have a problem finding them. I just, like, at some point I would walk into a giant room and it's like, oh god. Oh my god, we're doing it again. And then, like, the last 3 or 4 chapters, each one had at least one in it. It's just like, I can't keep doing this, guys. I just want to shoot all these guys in the face. I think that game probably could have had 2 hours chopped off of it, and I think it would have been a lot tighter.
Yeah, I
think that's a fair critique.
Yeah, I think overall the level design was, I'd say 75% of it was good, and I think the other 25% of it, sort of spread throughout the entire game, was often a confusing mess. Like, not in a way that sort of reminds me of original build engine games, where you're like walk in a level and you're like, okay, I've been walking around in a circle for 10 minutes. I don't. Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
I don't. I need a key card, I think, but there's a dude's body that's over in the corner that has a key card under him. Okay.
That just happened to me right before we started recording, where we get into the big Zilla ship, and I forgot to grab the bombs. Oh. And I'm down there. I'm trying to run through the propeller. I'm like, this isn't working.
Yeah, like I can't. That's not how this goes.
Yep. For me, that was the lab when you get given the
with the gas mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hated that level so much. Yeah. Genuinely hated it.
I think the problem is so many games do the thing where the levels are designed where you subliminally know how to navigate it through lighting or level design or something. The rest of the game was fine with that, just not the lab.
Did anybody else get crushed by, like, multitude of things in this game? Standing in the wrong spot?
No.
I didn't.
Almost every elevator I triggered where I got in a fight, I was just kind of walking around, looking around, and next thing I know, I'm dead.
So let's talk about elevators. I want to be clear to everyone that's listening. When you would go up and you'd like push a button on a thing, and an elevator would clearly make a noise that it's coming down. And every time I would push that button, I would run to another room. I don't know why, and I'd be like, "Well, where the hell was I supposed to go?" And I'd go back to the previous room and be like, "Oh, right, the elevator."
That's coming from the old build engine things again, like where you press a button and you've got to go 4 rooms back to find the secret doorway.
Well, there was that one in the sewer where you're way down in the bottom and you're fighting the horde of things around you where you get the little gloopy demon things. And I'm running around. I triggered the elevator and I'm running around like, where is this? And then I was like, crunch. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think a lot of what they do with the level design and the length is fine. It's weird, is this game... There's really 2 games going on here. There's a lot of the level-to-level stuff that's often not great, and a lot of the architecture and a lot of the design is copy and pasted a lot, which is fine. I mean, that happens a lot in games. Then the other half of the game is the really incredible Shadow Realm stuff with fantastic boss fights. That I wish we had like one more of those boss fights, because all of those were really good. Like, those were, what's that big boss fight game we love, Knobs?
Painkiller.
Painkiller.
Yeah, Painkiller. It's like playing little mini Painkiller, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna look at a really cool demon vista for a little bit, and I'm gonna fight a cool boss that I break his armor off and shoot his crystal bits.
See, I thought those levels were so incredibly done.
I liked my favorite one of them was Thingyo's lab, Hoji's lab.
Yeah,
Like I thought that looked amazing.
The part, all right. So the thing that blew me away most about this game in particular is I was fully expecting to hate Lo Wang and Hoji the entire time.
Hoji's my favorite.
Yeah,
and
Hoji's
I
incredible.
thought the chemistry between those two were amazing.
I think Hoji. Oh, go ahead.
Because Lo Wang actually had almost the player's experience about how effed up this whole situation is.
Yeah.
This makes no sense. What's happening?
I think for me, for the first half and maybe a little bit of change of this game, Hoji is a saving grace because Lo Wang does have an interesting character arc, and I think he does get redeemed a lot over the, especially in like the last 2 hours.
He has a great line actually near the end of the game. Lo Wang does.
I used to be an a-hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite lines in that game.
I think Hoji is a saving grace at the beginning, especially when he introduces Lo Wang to his name. Where he's like, "Oh yeah, my name is unpronounceable. It's Hoji," and Lo Wang says, "Oh yeah, it's Hoji," and then Hoji pulls his line about like believing any BS that he'll spout. Like I think Hoji throughout the majority of the game is such a great foil to Lo Wang's BS. He's never impressed by Lo Wang at nearly any point in that game up until the ending. And I think that's so important because Lo Wang is a D by design throughout the majority of that until he like sort of grows up near the ending. And I think without Hoji, if it was just Lo Wang and the one-liners, I think the beginning of that game would be really, really, really hard to get through.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I thought some of his deliveries were on point. There were a couple of them.
His delivery is really good, yeah.
Well, I mean, so there's a part where you run into the twins after you rescue them out of, what is that?
Cargo Bay or something?
Seagate number 5 or whatever it was. So you let those out, and the girls are just laying into you left and right, and they're like, "Well, I liked you better when you were what was it? When you weren't dumb, or where you were dumb and adorable."
Yeah,
and he just goes like, "F off!" Like it was such a great moment.
Yeah, his voice acting is really great. His delivery is really great. It's just my concern with Lo Wang at the beginning, and I'm so glad I was wrong about it. Was I thought it was going to be
Duke again.
I thought it was going to be a 3D Realms game. I don't even want to like put it down to just being Duke, because they made a lot of other games that were like that, where including the old Shadow Warrior, where it was just here's a one-liner that's kind of racist, and in looking back, it's really racist,
super duper racist.
Yeah, and now
you come back and they even let you in on that on that joke of what that game was in the opening loading screen.
Yep. Yeah, and it's so. I think it's so good, and it's so. Not only is it great that they don't rely on any racism throughout the game at all. I think that's so good. But I think it's great that Lo Wang actually does have a solid redemptive arc. Like throughout the game, he genuinely does understand and sympathize with what Hoji goes through and has gone through. The more whispers you find, the more he starts to understand what happened to Hoji and what happened to the Shadow Realm. And I think that arc is really great.
The Whisperers are the things of nightmares. Oh my god, those things are the creepiest things I've seen in games in a long time.
Especially getting like right up in their face as you're stabbing them is just like, please, just oh god, give me the animated cutscene, get me out of here.
But yeah, like, and again, like going back to his deliveries, there's that great line when Hoji's like, I was in the Swords before they were cool. And he's like, why don't you move to Seattle and start a band?
Yeah, the longer the game goes on, I did really enjoy the riffing that happened beyond them, because it progressed really nicely from neither of us want to be in this situation from the beginning to, all right, we're kind of friends, and then, all right, we're kind of brothers, all right. Like, just scrapping around a little bit. I thought that worked pretty well.
Zilla doesn't like doesn't like evidence. Well, he doesn't like a demon invasion either, right?
Speaking of Hoji, I really, really liked his voice actor, not only for just the normal stuff, but also when Hoji's depressed in his lab. That bit of voice acting work is so good, because it's so different from what Hoji was before.
Yeah, when he's making the final Whisperer, and he's trying to make that decision as to whether or not to go through with it or not. Yeah, I think, like, the game has a really interesting story arc, like the progression through the game, where legitimately people don't remember stuff for a very valid reason, and then when you learn about what that information is, and there's even a point where Lo Wang learns something about Hoji, and Hoji's like, "Oh, did you see anything about me?" And he's like, "Nope." When he clearly
he did that to the head you carry around. He's like, what did you find out about me from the Shadow Realm? And Lo Wang's like, I couldn't tell you. And that head whose voice actor was also really cool was like, that's a shame.
Yeah, but no, like Hoji made that story so much more. Like I genuinely love the story. I love the animated cutscenes. But the fact that Hoji is such a likable character, and he, like you said, he's a great foil for Lo Wang throughout the entirety of the game, like, that turned it, for me, from a middling game to an upper game, because I don't like the gameplay in this. It's not my style of game. I didn't grow up playing Doom or the Star Wars games or Quake or anything like that. I didn't play any of these. So this type of game is not my kind of game.
Corridor and Horde.
Yeah, sort of like almost more arcadey shooter.
Yeah, like that wasn't for me when I was a kid. So playing this type of game, that's what got me through it. That's what took me all the way to the end, was learning more about Hoji and the actual characters. And there is very little storytelling in this, minus the voice acting and the animated cutscenes. And there's only a few of them. I
did really like Hoji's animation, too. Like, he has always had this hunched over, like he's plotting something. Like,
Yes.
Hoji was a really cool character. A lot of the other characters were fine. The one character I didn't really like was the main bad guy all the way at the end. Because they kept reusing his voice sample, where it's like, no! Just like, you guys should have done a second take on that one. That was not good.
I can't remember his name now, but yeah, the Shadow Realm leader guy.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind the gameplay that much, but I think that might be because I was used to that, having grown up in those games in the 90s, where it's shooting's a little bit looser. I at some point accidentally pushed in the right stick, and that aimed down sights, which was really great. I wish they would have explained that at some point.
Well, even the half pull, you can aim down sights.
Yeah, the half pull never really worked for me. I don't know why. I think gameplay wasn't really a problem with me. I think my other problem was enemy variety. Yes,
that was a big issue that got to me.
I got stale. What, three areas in?
Yeah, and the more enemies that got introduced, like those really big red guys with the cleavers, those were pretty fun to fight. But when they're throwing 2 or 3 at you, less interesting. The guys that were raising the dead, pretty interesting to fight. The things with the
chargers.
The chargers I think sucked.
Yes.
My biggest frustration is, I think from a design standpoint, the thing I would have changed for the chargers would be, if you got them, set them on fire with a flamethrower, I feel like they should have taken damage from bullets. Like, it should have done something to crack their armor or something. Should have been able to use the flamethrower for anything.
Yeah. My biggest thing with them is when they charge at you, they turn with you. Yeah. Like, the amount you have to move to the side to get them to actually go past you is ridiculous.
Well, unless you do it right next to a wall and they just slam right into it.
Yeah, you gotta master that dash real quick in this game.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, I did like the amount of mobility that dash provided, because originally it was just like, oh, I guess I'll sidestep these claw demons. Like, why do I have to do this? And then pretty quickly you're sidestepping the butchers that are trying to snag you. You're using it for some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and then the sheer amount of money it takes to to
Yes.
upgrade all your
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I literally just did it on this last playthrough. I upgraded every weapon, and boy, does that make a difference.
I upgraded. I think I got 7 upgrades total. Like, I felt like I never really had enough money. I was playing on casual, so I'm not sure if I got more or less money because of that, but...
You'd struggle. I played on normal,
Okay.
and I struggled with the money in it as well. I think I didn't even get 7. I might have got like 6.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, like I just upgraded all the weapons. I got all the key crystals and all the karma points. So my dude is fully tatted out and everything. I got all the pictures are full.
I'm speaking of that system, I liked the idea of going and picking up those chi crystals and using them to unlock skills, but a lot of them I felt like weren't super useful. No, which one? The ones where you were painting in the paintings were useful, but the ones where you're getting tattoos never really felt.
Those are
karma
more.
ones.
Those were for the spells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
If you
spells
weren't-
never.
If you weren't using spells a lot, you really didn't see any benefits to it.
Yeah, I used healing a lot, especially during those charger fights. I tried using some of the stuff where you're like pushing enemies back and you're trapping them and stuff like that, but I was playing on casual, so it never really felt that necessary.
Yeah.
Just because of the difficulty, and that's my fault. It's not the game's fault.
I mean, but again, like how satisfying was it when you got all 3 pieces of the Nobusuba Kage, and you're just like way a waste of stuff with those slashes.
The beams.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I'm glad this game did is as soon as you finish it, it says, "Hey, you can go back and play through with all of your upgrades. You just need to pick new game and pick EX mode." And I was like, "That's great. That's exactly what I want to do now that I have the Nobusura Kage. Like, I want to go through with just that now. Like,
Yep.
that'd be great."
You don't get it.
Son of a... Is it everything
It's just all the
except for
weapons
that?
and stuff.
It's everything except for that.
Never
Come on.
That's fine, because
Well-
like I have all my upgrades.
Well, here's the
weapons.
thing, but you can change the sword though. You have I think 4 different things you can pick from.
Oh, really?
You have Zilla's laser sword, which isn't as cool as it sounds.
Bummer.
You have a pixelated sword from what's that? Hotline Miami.
Oh, right.
The Nobusura Kage, and then you have Serious Sam's sledgehammer, which I
Right.
have been using exclusively.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Great.
Because instead of doing like the blood wipe off the blade, he just holds it up and goes double tap.
It just taps it.
Just taps it.
I did like, hitting reload on that and doing the blood wipe on the
Yep.
Nobusura Kage. Yeah, I feel like that for me is Shadow Warrior. It's a game where it's both sides of the same coin. Like it's level design is inconsistent, and the monsters you fight are them pretty quickly, but shooting them is actually pretty fun, and blowing stuff up never really gets old, and
Nope.
getting new weapons feels great. Like by the time you get the shotgun, you're like, oh, this thing is serious. Holy hell.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's just, there's always like, this is great, but this isn't. But this is really great, but this really isn't.
Well, going into this game when I first bought it, that bar was real low.
Oh,
it didn't
yeah.
take much to get over it, and then which probably made my first original playthrough so much more enjoyable, because I was like, man, I did not expect this to be engaging at any level.
Or have a story at all. Because the
That-
original didn't have one. I mean, it was a 90s shooter that was by 3D Realms. It was basically like, go get this bad guy. Here's a bunch of naked anime ladies.
Yeah, that probably explains why. Like, Nobs is really high up. I'm probably in the middle, and you're really down low, Boston. It's because Nobs raised the bar for us.
No,
Probably.
I don't think it's that. I just think that Shadow Warrior, from a story standpoint, story's great, music's great, a lot of cool graphical stuff they did. The boss fights with Zilla I thought were really fun, where you try to shoot and he yells at you and you have to use a
and he's
katana.
do this like a man.
Yeah, like that sort of stuff is great, but the enemy variety and the level design and just kind of at some point about halfway through, it started really feeling like a slog, and that's why I said, if you cut about 2 hours, it would have been a solid, probably 10-hour game, and I think it would have been a lot tighter by then. Like the lab level, like you talk about, you navigate all the way into it, you get a gas mask, and you navigate all the way back out to basically go 2 feet past where you started the level. And it's sort of like, yeah.
Yep. That level made me stop playing the game for about 2 weeks, because I started playing this. I played it solidly for like a while, and then I just didn't continue playing it after that level because I just needed a break.
It's a cool idea. It just, I don't think it came together like they wanted it to.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, probably the one gun you guys did not upgrade was that flamethrower.
Oh, where it lobbed stuff?
Oh, the lobbing bombs. Oh, and same thing with the crossbow with the remote detonators.
Oh, the crossbow remote detonators are cool.
Oh, with those things in the sky, you lock onto one of them, you blow it up, and you get 5 of them in one shot.
Nice.
It made crowd control so much better, and they worked great on the cleaver demons.
Oh, smart.
Yes, they really did.
I did like... I feel like one huge missed opportunity with this game, and I'm not sure if it's back in 2, I'll have to go look, is the not really scoring system, but I guess it sort of is, where like...
Yeah, the combat challenges.
Yeah, where like you're cutting off arms and it says Shredder, and you're going on a rampage and it's giving you like rampage times 2 times 3. I feel like they were going for something like Bulletstorm, but it never really mattered. Like, you got a karma bonus for doing better, but I really felt like I really liked being able to take the katana and like behead people and chop their arms off, and use the Uzis to chop the arms off of those cleaver guys. That all felt and looked cool, and near the end you could get more tactical with it, where you were trying to do this stuff to those dangerous guys, but it needed
it needed a bigger reward.
Yeah, like Bulletstorm, it paid off, and you very clearly did these things to get this thing, and you got a karma bonus for the better you did and the more you beat, but it never felt like, oh, I got 4.5 out of 5 shurikens, so, like, I got another karma level. It's just sort of like, you got 2,000 karma. It's like, great. How close am I to another level?
Yeah, that
did not
bothered
communicate that well at all.
Yeah.
And every time it seemed like I always got a karma point when I got one of those pools of blood.
Yeah.
And then towards on this playthrough, it seemed like that didn't work anymore.
Yeah.
I need more.
Yeah.
Like, the thing for me as well is, obviously I've upgraded my TV now, but I was playing this on an old TV, and playing it on the old TV was really hard because it didn't have the screen size and options, and there was so much stuff right on the edges that I just
if you have
could
any
not
overscan.
see.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm really curious. This game makes me really curious about Shadow Warrior 2, because I know Shadow Warrior 2 is a different game, and it is loot based, and it is more like a Diablo game than Shadow Warrior 1, and that's really interesting from that standpoint. From what I understand, it could be totally different, but I also am kind of curious about what happened with Hoji, because at the end of the first game he's really totally dead, and
yeah, that feels sad.
Yeah.
That whole game, I did not expect a sad ending.
No.
At all.
No, I didn't either. And I also...
I didn't expect to care either.
No, the exact same. Like, I didn't expect to care about that issue, and I do love the whole full circle it does, where Hoji made her happy, and then the thing that was causing everything to fall apart was her not crying, and then having that sad ending allows it to start healing itself, basically.
Right, like fixing the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, that whole circle there that they put in towards the end was just like, okay, that's great. And it actually was very, very affecting.
Yeah, I feel like they earned that, which is surprising. I think...
Shocking. It's shocking that Shadow Warrior earned that response.
Well, and I think a large part of that, which we've talked about a little bit, has been the animated cutscenes, but, when I first started watching them, I was like, oh great, here's like a motion comic that was popular a couple of years ago, but they do so much more with it, and there's something really great they do with perspective and movement in a lot of those things, and the voice acting in all of them is really great, and it's surprising that for each one of those little, they're almost like vignettes, that the storytelling manages to hold up in each one of them, even though you're seeing it from somebody's perspective you haven't necessarily met yet.
Yeah.
I think that's... it's
like the game. I liked it even more the second time I played it.
I think it's
Go ahead.
fine. I think it's a good game, but I think Shadow Warriors' maybe biggest problem is 2017.
Yes.
Because we've played Prey this year, and they're not the same game, obviously, but Prey is so friggin' good that another first-person shooter is like, yeah, this is pretty good, but Prey, whew, man.
Yeah.
And that's unfair. Like, that's unfair to Shadow Warrior, I will be honest, but man, Prey is good.
TVGP
Game Club Shadow Warrior, play Prey.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
I
think this game deserves a shot for people to play.
Oh, it does.
And be surprised.
I think the important thing about Shadow Warriors, we don't get games anymore like this, and I think that's a problem. Shadow Warrior is a B game. It's not an A game where it's like, I can look at Prey and say, this is a top-tier game, you need to go play this. And I know that everybody that does will have a great time. We don't get a lot of games like Shadow Warrior anymore that are good. They're just good. You know, Shadow Warrior is a good game. There's nothing fundamentally broken or unplayable, or it's not impossibly difficult, or level 13 is just broken and you can't finish the game. It's just a good but not great game, and we don't get those anymore, and I think that sucks.
Well, it's also the problem with the whole industry as a whole. I mean, it's like, if it's not great, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's one thing. I think people like Devolver, I think, are the only real publisher still out there these days who are embracing that B tier of game attitude. Yep. They are the ones who are putting out this generation's, Vanquish and Alpha Protocol. They're the ones who are holding up that flag, whereas everybody else they're either pumping out utter garbage and mobile phone ports, or they're not taking any risks in the slightest because they can't afford to have a loss.
Yeah, they're putting out the sure thing. Yeah,
good on Devolver as well for doing the publishing work on it, because that's a small publishing house, is what I understand.
Yeah, they're pretty tiny, if I understand. And yeah, you raise a good point. Like, Devolver has been coming forward and just saying, like, this game looks good and super weird. Screw it, let's put it out. Let's try it. Whatever. I think that's important. I know that Shadow Warrior 2 is on our game club list. So we'll get to it eventually, probably once it drops in price a little bit more. And I know that's like a drop in, drop out co-op loot game. It's kind of a different genre from what Shadow Warrior 1 is, but I'm curious to see where Flying Wild Hog will go with Shadow Warrior after the first one, because I think the only way they can go is up.
Yeah.
And I know Knobs has played Shadow Warrior 2, but
a little bit,
yeah.
So, but no, I mean, it was. I think we do come across as three different standings. Yeah, I do think Knobs is the highest. I think I'm the middle, and I do think you're the lowest, Boston. But at the same time, your lowest in this case is not a low. It's definitely worth a shot. It's definitely worth a playthrough. Throw it on casual. You'll probably fly through it really quickly.
It took me probably about 12 hours on casual, and that was a lot of like. Wait, what? And that was a lot of me getting stuck on Zilla's ship, where it's just like, okay, cool. No, wait, I've been here before. Okay, let me go left over there. No, wait, I'm back in that same room. What the hell's going on here?
It took a big circle.
Yeah, it's just like, this is a new area. No, wait, it's the same one. How did this happen?
2 hours of listening to elevators come down and not realizing that that's where you're supposed to go.
Every time, dude. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, I mean, like, we talked about, OpenCritic has this game at a 76. I think that's about fair. It's a good game. I probably would push it up to an 80 just because I had fun. I had fun with the game, even though it has some stumbling blocks here and there, but it's a good game. And we don't compare that to some of the stuff we've played in the past that we haven't really liked. This game is just, it's pretty good.
I would play this over Call of Duty any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So would I.
Call of Duty is definitely not in our wheelhouse. And something like this that is, I feel, a little bit more daring gameplay-wise and design-wise and definitely story-wise. I think that's...
Come on, they managed to make a katana sword feel satisfying to swing.
Yes.
I used that the whole game. Like, that was something I thought I'd use. The pistol you get sucks. So it's just like, well, I'll just go back to the katana, whatever.
Yeah,
but
the pistol doesn't get good until you upgrade all the upgrades.
Yeah.
Other than that, the thing is worthless. The thing might as well be shooting marshmallows.
I played Destiny. I should know that, like, don't judge anything until you upgrade it all the way. But I just didn't have enough money. Wasn't finding those little lantern guys all that often.
And those aren't even, like, that was the other thing. Like, I think, like, you get a pile of money, like, this big, and then you get one of this, like, this is 50, this was, like, 8.
Right.
And you're like, there's no account. And then you get the lanterns, which was, like, 300. And you're like, come on.
That should be, like, 3,000.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, I need a little bit, especially a lot of those were pretty tucked away. It's like, I should get at least 1,000 for sort of doing a little bit of platforming here and backtracking through the whole level to go behind this one gate.
There was one in the shipyard where I jumped up on this, and you had to make this harrowing, like, angled jump to land on top of the container, then go back up to go through another container to get around the corner, and it was 430. I'm like...
Yeah, it's like, you need to give me, like, 5,000 or something. Like, I should be able to upgrade one gun slot for doing that much.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, how many of the classic levels did you guys see?
I didn't see any. Wait, what?
7.
Yeah, there's secrets.
I found 7 of them.
Because it was just like the old games. There's a lot of secret areas, and I think in every level there was an old classic level, kind of like the way Wolf did it.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, like I found the subway area. I found another one. I found a computer room.
My favorite one, I think I only found 3, but my favorite one was the heavy metal black rabbit.
That was a good one.
I didn't find any of these. That sucks.
I also found... Did you find the bathhouse with the two-dimensional chick? Where
I didn't find
she kept turning with you.
I didn't find the bathhouse one, but in the very first level, the very first waterfall, there is one right there.
Yeah.
There's one. The other one is like, oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh,
but yeah, no... This heavy metal rabbit is like the black bunny, bunny rabbits that you see, Boston.
Yeah, the evil ones.
Yeah, one of them, but solid black, and came at you and really did a lot of damage, and it just played hardcore heavy metal music the whole time it was alive. There's a trophy
for killing 10 of those.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just like, I looked at the trophy and I was like, killing 10 evil rabbits, and then one of them came after me. I was like, oh, right. A lot of shotgun shells to put that guy down.
Here's the amazing thing. Another thing blew my mind is how the hell did they make a bamboo forest that dense?
Yeah.
Yep.
That looked good.
Like, I cannot believe I was spun around so many times because everything was just like, and it did, like, the area got really dark.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a good game.
That was another one where I was like, okay, I need to go find something in the forest. All right, I'm going to go into the bamboo forest. I'm going to take a left turn. No, I was just there. All right, I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a right turn. No, I'm in the same... How does this keep happening?
Yep. Every time.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you listen to this and you haven't played Shadow Warrior, I'm surprised. But also, go try it. I mean, I think it's on sale pretty often, so it's worth a try.
I think the first one you get for like $10 now.
Yeah. Especially if you get it on disc, it's super cheap.
Well, even the digital 2-packs for $30. For 2 and 1.
Yeah. All right. Any closing remarks? I feel like we've sort of wrapped everything up here.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I like the game. There are issues with it. A lot of that is personal taste as well. But overall, I still enjoyed the game. I was blown away that I could feel that much at the end of that game going into it. How little I expected.
Yeah.
Oh man, how cool are those? Man, there's so many things that I loved about this game. It's insane for me.
Yeah.
I really was geared up to hate this thing.
Oh yeah.
I was frothing at the mouth just to trash it. And I'm like, man, why are you so good?
Well, and if no one ever played the Shadow Warrior from the 90s, it wasn't great. It was fine, but it just wasn't... It had shock value more than anything else. Like, Duke 3D was largely a pretty solid game. The level design and the puzzles were often pretty good, and you had the shock value of Duke being Duke on top of it. By the time you got to Shadow Warrior, it was sort of like, yeah, man, this isn't great. It's pretty racist, but it's not very good. And so this one, like you said...
Was no blood.
Yeah. God, blood is so good. But like you said, Knobs, like coming in, the bar was set super low.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it exceeded it.
It was about as low as it was for me with the Wolfenstein: The New Order. I did not expect to like that game, let alone love it by the end.
And Prey, where it's just like, oh good, another Prey, whoopity doo.
Prey was almost completely blind because I knew nothing of that other than I thought it was going to be repeating the same day over and over again. And that took a turn for the better.
If we're going to be throwing this kind of list out as well, may I also suggest Syndicate as another one of those?
Syndicate was another one.
But
was
the
not
original,
expect that to be fun.
Only catch is the original Syndicate was really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And really different.
Yeah. Yeah, Syndicate and Syndicate Wars were both really, really good.
That's where I wish Devolver would get a hold of the Sin license. God, I want more of that game. I love that universe.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Syndicate. I was like, man, somebody just made that with Satellite Rain. Like, they just made Syndicate again.
Yeah.
The old Syndicate.
No. I'm talking about Sin.
Yeah. I wonder who's holding on to that.
I was like, how is that property dead? It was so good.
Yeah, I wonder who owns that. I'll have to go look that up.
Can we put that in the randomizer? Have them play a 1990 shooter?
That game, I bet, has not aged well at all.
No, it hasn't. I played it probably 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the Enforcer, that initial handgun is still great. That bank robbery, or the bank, probably one of my favorite opening levels of a game.
Yeah. Man, that's good. All right, let's talk about our next game. We only have 3 weeks this time, so we're gonna. I have asked the randomizer to give us a shorter game this time.
Prayed to the random gods.
I did, and it gave us a super short game this time. So, especially as we're coming to top 10 season, I feel like we need to start knocking out some more stuff on our shame.
I'm really lucky my wife did the math on it. I've played 10 games from 2017.
Nice. I've played 6, so I
have no idea.
Yeah. Our next game is Abzu for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah.
What is it?
ABZU, Abzu. Should be super cheap. Came out 2015, 2016. I believe it's like 4 hours long. This is going to be a pretty short one here for we're going to take a little bit of a knee this month and take an easier one and chill out under the sea a little bit.
Yep.
So
get that sound system cranked.
Yeah, just chill out. Yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
I know, that's the best thing.
That's the great thing about Game Club is sometimes none of us have an idea what this is.
You can tell whose suggestion it was, though, because when you said it, I was the only person who reacted.
Yeah. Well, we will see everyone in 3 weeks to talk about Abzu. And you can visit us and do all that stuff at tvgp.tv. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next month.
Laters.
See ya.
All right, and thank you very much, everyone, for watching us live.
Thank
Bye.
you. It's so hot.